What's interesting is the Apkallu. Have you heard of the Apkallu before? I haven't heard of the Apkallu. I've heard of the Anunnaki. When I look at this picture, I think of the Anunnaki immediately, and I think of the Anunnaki immediately, and I think of the Anunnaki immediately. And then who is the Oannes? Right here, the Oannes. And who are the Mami water beings? Mami water beings. Mami water. African spiritual tradition that encompasses the worship of pantheon of water spirits. And it says that good morning, says like the Mami water people, they're around the Africa region, and they would like take the women or somebody and use them to breed the Mami water people. Like there's a story of like, well, women, there's people saying, you know, they were taken under the water by like mermaid-like beings in order to like reproduce or something. Well, this is kind of interesting, and I hadn't heard it before. Somehow I got into it. I did, the Mami water people and the Oannes people right here. And then I thought, well, the Oannes, they were described as like being three different types. You know, that you could look like this right here, then like a bird, and then like fish skin. And they often were referred to as the seven sages. The seven sages, and then, you know, you get to the book of Enoch too. It like ties into the book of Enoch. Look at this right here. This is what you should watch right here. This is really interesting. This right here, guy, I was listening to this. The fifth kind, the book of Enoch, banned from the Bible, reveals shocking secrets of our history. And he goes in deep detail. And I thought, well, I never heard of that. So I fast forwarded it and listened to it really fast. But when he was talking about it, and when he was talking about the Oannes, it reminded me of like a some kind of series that my husband was watching, I guess a Star Trek series or something, a very new one. And I thought they had encountered like the Oannes beings or something. They were like spiritual beings, some kind of beings that looked like, you know, pretty different colors of plasma and stuff, and they were very super intelligent. I think that's who I was thinking about, but then I thought, where did I hear that name before? But I never heard of the Apkallu before. I haven't. Until that guy mentioned it, and he was describing them as these right here. And they say like created by the god Enki. The god Enki comes in, but it was really interesting talking about seven sages. And then you have the seven spirits of God and stuff like that, you all. So this is really interesting. I really do feel that there is, and you know, the ancient text, there is a history that is hidden. A history that is hidden, that is not spoken about. Why would they even have carvings like this, really? Why would they depict beings that had a bird head and then a fish body and all of that? And also referred to as the powerful ones. Why? You have to ask yourself why. And really, why did only like the Ethiopian, like the guy said, they put the book of Enoch in their Bible. They did, they included it, but not the canon. What? Because why? Probably because, like he said, there was other gods that were mentioned, and it didn't want to fit into that, you all. It didn't, and I don't want to talk religion, and but there's something more going on. There's something so much more going on. And it seems like, and the guy in this video right here, of the fifth kind, also Carl Sagan, he wrote his paper. He wrote a paper on extraterrestrial life, galactic life and stuff. Look, stories like the Oannes legend and representations, especially of the earliest civilizations of the earth, deserve much more critical studies than have been performed heretofore. with the possibility of direct contact with an extraterrestrial civilization as one of many possible alternative interpretations. When people like were kidnapped and stuff, they even had this famed neuroscience guy, the Department of Defense. They hired him to, you know, question these people who, aviators and stuff, who had, you know, experience of, I don't know, contact and stuff. And so he did. And he said it's not no mass psychosis. There's something they had contact with, like more or less an otherworldly beings. They weren't making nothing up. So really, why silence? Why silence any other thought other than the one that has been put out there? That we are all alone, really. We're all alone. There is no other beings that were ever created. There's no outer space. There's no other dimensions. There's none of it. There's no other life forms. There's nothing that lives in the water. Why silence it? Does it have to do with control, complete control of a species above the earth, like earthlings? Does it? Probably. It does. You know it does. It does. I would encourage you to watch that. I really would. And the guy said, he goes, you know, this was 2 years ago that he did it. It had 5.8 million views. And he said because of the algorithm, it's probably going to be hard to find his videos. It's probably going to be hard to find his videos right here. Right here, the Book of Enoch, banned from the Bible, and the fifth kind. He had a peaceful spirit, and he seemed to know what he's talking about. He really did. This is what he looked like. If I can get it on here. You all, let me see. Have you noticed that when you're trying to watch something, it's either going to spin or it's going to do that? What are the chances of, I want to point to his face and show his face? What are the chances are they're going to blur his face out? What are the chances of that? Think about it. You want to blur his face out when I want to show his face. No. What are the chances of it? Let me try it again. Let's see what they're going to do now. Oh, see, now they don't want to. They don't want to show his face. Let's try it again. Okay, now they want to show his face like that. And he doesn't really look like that, but still, you all. Look at that. Paul Wallace. And he broke it down pretty good. I don't normally watch stuff, but I don't know how I found that. I don't. But I was sitting in the recliner this morning. I thought, I think I'm going to listen to him. So I only really listen to what I'm guided to listen to. But yeah, the Oannes, the Apkallu, and the Anunnaki, and the Mami water beings around Africa. So there is something to it. But really, when I heard the Oannes, I remember years and years ago when I lived in Nevada, they had vacation Bible school. You know, you have that. But then they had this thing called the Oannes, Awanas, where they had the children come and stuff. But I thought, why does that sound like Oannes? Because it did, Oannes. I was teaching the Oannes to the smaller children and stuff like that. And I thought, why did they name it Oannes? And then that Oannes. It's weird, you all. All of this is weird. It's like a whole entire history is being hushed. And it's like society today. It's not society. Something today wants to silence free thinking, and they want to keep your thinking inside a box. You are not to think outside the box. Okay, you're not. And there is something like I remember reading at the end of, well, I'm not going to say at the end of, there's words that says, do not go beyond what is written. It's a warning. Don't go beyond what is written. Why? Because there's something else out there? There really is something else out there? No, you all. The Oannes, the Anunnaki, the Apkallu, and the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, and the fish people, the mermaids, Of course there's life under the oceans. That's why we ain't explored it. And is it because you got these powerful beings under the ocean, highly advanced beings with watercraft, and they can go up there, they can come out of the water, they can go up into the sky, they can take people? Or do you got insectoids in the ocean too? Do you got those in the ocean? We got all kinds of beings, you all. Look, so yeah. So Apkallu, the 7 sages of Mesopotamia. So they did the fish, they had the fish skin. The temple, I think one of this said they're talking about Marduk. So this is the Apkallu right here. This is one of the ones, the fish skin. And what's this? The Nimrod. Nimrod, is that like Gilgamesh stuff? And then look right here, the human Apkallu, the palace of Ashurbanipal. If they didn't exist, why do they even have all this stuff? Really, why? To me, this history is more important than our history that we got right now. It really is. This ancient history is more important than the history that they've been teaching in schools and that you see on the news. All of this history, all this ancient history, you all, is much more important. Yeah, that's right. There so are, and they say, you shall have no other gods before me, no other gods. But you have the Anunnaki, the Sumerians, the powerful ones, the Apkallu, the Oannes, and then more and more out there that we don't even know of. We do, and they've created all kinds of beings. They had to have some kind of body, he said, in order to mate with women. The Watchers who came down, they had to have something that was compatible with the human body. They did. And then they got the giants, and they got the Nephilim. Then you got the stories of the Paul Bunyan, and then you got Jack and the Beanstalk. You got all kinds of stuff. A history that is not spoken about, really. A history that is silenced for a different type of narrative. And is it right? No, it's not right. Is it to protect us from what? Protect us from what? From the truth? No. We want the truth. We can handle the truth, otherwise we wouldn't be here. We can handle the truth, otherwise we wouldn't be here. You also check that out, that guy right there, if you can. The 5th kind, the Book of Enoch, banned from the Bible, reveals the shocking secrets of our history. He's talking about the supernatural and stuff and physical healing and things like that, you all. You can just think your whole body can get physically, you got your body physically healed, your whole entire life. Your whole entire life, you know, it's like miracles occur and stuff, all of it. So who knows, you all? Who knows? Maybe in the future, we'll see something. We'll see more of something uncovered. And he said also the veil is thinning too. I would encourage you to be very careful who you listen to also. Be very careful who you lend your ear to concerning, you know, things like that. If your spirit does not resonate with it, don't listen to it. Don't. I'm very careful what I listen to. I really am. And people suggest, Gina, you need to listen to this, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that. I'm only going to do what my spirit leads me to do. That's it. And in this case, this morning, I walked on the treadmill and I listened to what he had to say, is what I did. And it was well with my soul. You like that song? It is well with my soul. It is well. It is well with my soul. That's right. So I'm going to go, you all. Yeah. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, thank you. And thank you for coming to this channel, even though Gina, honey, shared, like last night, I thought I saw two mysterious orbs, green orbs flying around at the Vatican, and it turned out to be lasers. lasers, you all. That was the wildest thing, you all. It really was. But I honestly thought it was mysterious orbs. My head's still stuck on spaceships and stuff. That's right. So have a wonderful rest of your day. And thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. Thank you all for coming here. And be careful who you lend your ear to, because once you hear it, it goes inside your body and then you retain it. Yeah, that's right. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. Love you.